Hello guys, and welcome to another Lenovo Ideapad 5 laptop game test video with our Ryzen 4500U. We're going to take a look at Star Wars Battlefront 2 today and Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order all in one video, starting with Battlefront 2. So starting with showing you the settings, we are going to start at 720p, full screen. And I do keep things like motion blur and film effects and whatnot off for the recording. We're going to be on the low graphics preset. If you want to play around 60 FPS at 720p, that's where you're going to need to be. So we're going to get in here and we're going to fire up MSI Afterburner, and you'll be able to see everything that's going on with this game on our Ryzen 4500U with our Vega 6 graphics. So here we are. The laptop actually handles everything quite well. You're going to want VSync on for the screen tearing issues on your laptop, but the game is very smooth on that 60 Hz panel, no problem at all. 720p. Now at 1080p the game runs okay too if you're alright with 30. We're going to check that out in just a little bit, and I will also show you 720p running at medium preset to get a little bit more graphic fidelity, but you're going to lose that 60 FPS that we're able to get a lot of the time here. So I'll let you guys check this out, see how the gameplay is, see how the game is running. It ran really well, and I'll jump back in when we change the settings over.
Forces have secured command post tracks.
Victory shall soon be ours.
Hostiles are capturing command post Orex.
We have been joined by Darth Maul.
Alright, and here's a good spot for us to go ahead and jump back over into our settings, and we'll change our resolution. That's the only change we'll make. We'll go up to 1080p, And of course, you're going to lose that FPS, but you'll have the crisper experience. So, you know, it's going to be up to you if you're more interested in a 30 FPS 1080p or a 60 FPS 720p is kind of what it boils down to here. But let's take a look at how it runs. And it's not always even going to be 30, really. There's plenty of times it's going to go under, but it doesn't stutter at least. So even though you have the low frame rate, you can look at these games running on my older FX 4100 build on the channel and kind of compare some of these a little bit, especially Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. Even though this laptop could run things at a lower frame rate, it doesn't get those CPU type hitches and stutters and things that you'll normally get. It just runs at a low frame rate. So we'll run around here, we'll play a little bit at 1080p, and then we're going to switch it over back to 720p and raise the settings a little bit.
Hostiles have started like this, capturing command post 4X.
We're in total control of the battlefront. Once again, my tactics have proven to be flawless.
Grenade out. Hey.
Alright, so let's go ahead and jump back into our settings. Let's change that resolution back to 720p, and let's bump the preset up to medium so that you can see what that does here. Those are the only two changes that we'll make. There we go. So what, you're going to cut almost in half on your frame rate, maybe not quite, losing 20 FPS there from the 60 we had. So if you're wanting more graphic fidelity and you want to play 30 or higher, and of course depending on the map and what's going on, you know, it's going to vary. It's always going to vary. Campaign, multiplayer, what kind of modes you're playing, what maps you're on, these things are going to vary. But this just gives you a general idea of how this game's going to run, and it runs quite well. Just like Grand Theft Auto 5 ran well, and Forza runs well, and a lot of games run well. Some aren't as playable, like Red Dead Redemption 2 works, but not great, and some things like that. But I would definitely put this game right in there with Rocket League and Forza and all the other ones mentioned. That it's definitely playable. Nicely playable on this laptop on the 4500U. So if any of you grab a 4700U or a 4800U, especially with 16 gigs of RAM, let me know how that's running for you for sure. And I've gone into the BIOS of this laptop and I'm going to make a video on it. A lot of you want to see the BIOS and changing the VRAM, and I'm going to do that. I've tested that. It's not a great idea with the 8 gig version. I think it'd work alright with the 16, but we'll talk about that more when I get that BIOS video done, and I'll show you guys what the options are there for sure.
Transport's ready to leave. Destroying the Venator is next on our list of objectives.
Alright, so we're actually getting towards the end of the benchmark for Battlefront 2. I hope that gave you a good idea how that's going to run on your 4500U, or it's going to run even better if you get a 4700, 4800, or whatever the case may be. So definitely no problems with this one. So here we are, jumping right on over to Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. And I will we'll bring up MSI Afterburner here in just a minute. I want to show you what settings we're running at. There's only a couple choices in this game. If you know, it's like medium, high, and epic. You can't go under medium. So I'll go in here and show you what we got going on. Motion blur and foreground off, as always. Like I said, full screen, 720p, 60 FPS. VSync is needed in this for the tearing as well. You're not going to notice the difference. It's smoother, medium on our preset. You can't go any lower, or we would try it. So we'll let this start out, and I'll bring up MSI Afterburner once we get a little bit closer here. Pretty smooth though. I was also surprised how well this game runs. This game runs better on this laptop than it does on my desktop FX 4100, which that's only like a dual core 4-thread type processor. It's fairly old with a 1050 Ti in it. But as far as the stutteriness and the issues with it, this game actually runs a lot better on this 4500U laptop than it does on my 4100 desktop. So And again, you know, especially at 720p, very playable. 1080p gets pretty unplayable, well under 30. We'll check that out here in just a little bit. But the 720p for this game is very, very playable on the laptop, which is surprising. I mean, this is a pretty rough game to run. Even at 1440p on my RTX 2060, I'm bouncing between 60 and 90. I mean, so really, really impressive that it can even run this, to be honest. I was impressed when it ran Red Dead Redemption 2. Also, you can pretty much squeeze 30 FPS, 720p out of that game if you want to.
Let's go.
Pretty impressive for a $680 laptop, and for the 4500U, which is the lower end. And in 3D Mark, the 4500U is beating the 10th gen Intel i7 by like 1,000 points. That's in one of my my videos as well. So I also have a Core i5 10th gen in a MacBook Air 2020 here that I had gotten from my wife. I'm going to do some comparisons and talk about that laptop compared to this one as well in the future. But yeah, it's definitely even beating her $1,200 MacBook Air with the i5 in it when it comes to some of the testing. So pretty interesting, pretty impressive what AMD is doing with these 4000 series chips.
Will you look at that?
Alright, you guys check out the rest of this gameplay, and I'll hop back in towards the end. And don't forget, while you're watching the video, please click that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, ring the notification bell so you know when I drop new videos, and leave your comment below. Thanks a lot, and I will catch you here when we get towards the end.
Hands up! What the hell?
Hey, you okay?
Yeah, I'm good. Ladder's out, though.
Yeah, no problem. I'll improvise.
Depart this barge immediately. You are not approved trash.
And trash? Just not approved trash.
Easy there.
Just passing through.
Hurry up. We're close to finishing ahead of schedule. I can just about taste the credits. Gonna be a wild night tonight. Let's get this job done.
Reckless cow.
Good to see you.
You too. Don't get yourself killed.
That's the idea. Sounds like scrap rats. Creepy. Just passing through, guys. No need to come out and say hi this time.
Hey, Cal, I'll meet you at the clamps.
Sounds good. Be there soon.
How'd you get here?
How'd you get here?
Huh?
Look, the ship cutter is here. There it goes. before they start cutting this wing.
Action A, action A!
I'm working as fast as I can.
Cal, use the manual override lever below.
So actually, even before we get to the end for just a little bit, we are going to run the 1080p. Like I said, it's not very playable, but I'll let you see this for just a couple of minutes before we get ready to wrap it up. That's the only change we're going to make. We'll change that right on over to 1080p, and you can see what's going to happen to our frame rate. It's not very playable, but I wanted to throw it in here anyway. Some people might deal with it. I'd rather go the 720, but definitely go ahead and check this out, and I'll catch you here in just a minute.
Got it. Your turn.
Hold on. All right, clamp secured.
Whoa.
You okay?
Still here.
Give me a fright there, pal.
Done.
Hang on. I got this. We're done. Get out up here. Come take a look at this. It's a Jedi fighter. What a score! It's a real scrapper's payday. I mean, this thing's been here, what, 4 years?
5.
Whoever flew this went down in a blaze of glory. Those Jedi. Real tragedy. Yeah, I've always said they couldn't all be traitors.
Yeah, maybe.
I guess it's just our lucky day. Empire's gonna get a lot of good material out of it. Yeah, here we are, scrapping these ships from the war, just so they can turn around and make new ones. What a racket, huh? All of us risking our necks for the bosses. And the pay was better back during the Republic, too.
Hey, you really should watch what you say.
Listen to me. Find us feel like this, it'll be your ticket off this soggy rock.
What makes you think I want out of here?
Come on, Cal, you're a young guy. You don't end up like me. Eventually, you gotta move on and live your life. Find your destiny.
Whatever you say. Hey, we should get back down.
You're not listening to me. What is that?
Bro, you okay?
Cal! I can't climb up!
Bro, just hang on.
I'm slipping!
No, don't let go. Bro,
I can't hold on!
no! You okay, bro?
I'm all right. Just pinned down.
Pilot's gone. I'll get us out of here. Just hang on.
Watch out, Cal!
Look out! This thing is barely flying. Hold on! Bro, you all right?
Yeah. Okay,
We gotta move. Come on.
What the hell happened? What was that back there? Was that you? Well, that was the Force, wasn't it?
Just forget what you saw, okay? Please
No,
trust
but
me.
I've seen the stories. I've heard it. There's
Bro,
bounties out on people
I
like
know.
you.
I know.
Yeah, we're ready. We need to be careful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, so that's going to wrap up our video for testing Star Wars Battlefront 2 and Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order on the Lenovo Ideapad 5 15-inch Platinum Gray with 8 gigs of RAM, Ryzen 4500U with integrated Vega 6 graphics. So these games are actually both quite playable. They run pretty well. No issues, no complaints. Battlefront runs a little better than Fallen Order. Of course, I would expect that, but I was very surprised to see Fallen Order run as well as it did on this laptop, to be honest. And even at 1080p, even though it's not very playable in the mid-20s, lower 20 FPS, it's still not stuttering. It still ran really well. So it just shows the power of the processor that they have in here. So, all right, guys, thanks a lot for checking out this video. Please hit that subscribe button, ring the notification bell, give this video a thumbs up, and leave your comment below letting me know what you think. And if you've got a laptop with one of these processors on the way, I'd like to hear from someone who has a 4700U or a 4800U, how that's working out for them. All right, thanks again, guys, and I will see you in the next video.
Heard he was up on